Daniel W. Papal.
Thank you very much for that very warm welcome. Or not. Which one are we using now? Test, okay. Thank you for the very warm welcome. Thank you, Richard, for the opportunity to be here tonight. Thank you all for being here. I actually found out about this less than 48 hours ago. Me and Richard are on Facebook together. He's been following me. And I actually had a need of my own recently, transitioning from the military to civilian life. And even with the college education that I don't have the credentials, so we're trying to get some of those credentials established. Those credentials are going to cost a lot of money. So I put that plea out on Facebook saying, anybody got any ideas here? And without hesitation, within moments, Richard jumped up and said, well, what do you need? I'm like, well, I've got this going on, I've got that going on. He's like, okay, well, let me reach out to the organization, let me see what we can do. So we've been working on that issue for about a week. And then I followed up with him a couple of days ago to kind of find out where we were at with that. And I just happened to check on his page, and I saw where he was reaching out for things that he still needed for this event. And one of the needs on there was that he needed a photographer for a couple of various duties. And I'm like, oh, Richard, did you know I'm a photographer? Do you need anything? You're trying to help me out here, what can I do to help you? Long story short, here I am. But that very quickly blossomed into me appearing before you today to become a speaker. I actually had a prepared speech that I was going to go through word for word and speak a little bit about me and a little bit about some larger things. But I think what I'm going to do is I want to talk not so much about me or why I'm here and the things I've done. I don't think we need to rehash our past. I think what we need to do is we need to talk about why we're here, what the needs are. So I spent 24 years in the military. When I came into the military, it was because it was expected of me that that's what I'm supposed to do. I was raised by the greatest generation. My dad and all my uncles were in World War II. My dad was on the USS Indianapolis. If anybody knows the Navy history, that rings a bell. I'll touch again on that one in a moment. I did 24 years, the Marine Corps, did the Army, and I was in and out of the military several times on active duty, but I never really let go of the uniform. I never really let go of that calling of what it is I was supposed to be doing. It's that sense of pride, a sense of service. I came in the military when Reagan was president. It was a really good time. Couldn't spend the money fast enough. The Cold War was winding down, and things were just good. And then all of a sudden, I don't know, this Desert Storm thing happened in 1991. So myself and my tank unit, we packed up in very short order and we went over there and took care of some business and made sure we kept the price of gas down for a little while. Some would argue that's unfinished business, that's continued on to a lot of the reasons why some of us are here today. That's up for debate. We won't have that today. But even after that, it was like, okay, well now there really is peace in the world. Soviet Union's gone, price of gas is down, nobody's messing with us anymore. We had this little thing in Somalia going on, but that was just a little kind of an upset apple cart. We took our business there eventually. And there was this long time in the military where there was nothing to do. So I, kind of figured out, well, I'm kind of running out of things to do. I'm going to try civilian life for a little while. Got out and stayed in here in San Diego. My next door neighbor happened to be a retired, or close to retirement, radar intercept officer on F-14s. He was VF-1, Wolfpack. And he pulled me aside one day and he's like, Dan, you've got 11 years. Stay in. Do not give up. You want that retirement. You don't have any idea how important retirement is. Thought about it, I'm like, okay, I'll do the National Guard or something. At least I can get a retirement. So that was in 1998. Fast forward to 2001, the day we'll never forget. That was my generation's Pearl Harbor. And shortly after that, we're all on active duty. We're taking some name and taking some business to the enemy and getting some payback. You know, the rest is history. We ended up in Iraq shortly afterward, and you know, delivering freedom and doing whatever you want to call it we did there, still up for debate. Nonetheless, I was on active duty again, well on my retirement, you know, acquiring some time, getting some things done. So I ended up retiring in 2009, and I put up the uniform, and I'm like, well, we're still a nation at war. You know, the roles are reversed now. Now the military is the only thing really going on, and I don't have anything to do. You know, so you come to that point in life where it's like, well, why did I do this to begin with? I did this because it's what I'm supposed to do. It's that sense of being, sense of calling, sense of service. And that brings me to why we're all here today. It's like, even though we take the uniform off, even though we've put that job behind us, even though we've traded our M16 for a typewriter or whatever. Anybody remember what a typewriter is? Laptop, computer, phone. There's still business to take care of. And one of the things that I remember growing up, even with my dad having been in World War II, is there was this TV show on called The 10,000 Day War. It came out right after Vietnam finished. It was basically a documentary that ran week to week, explaining all the events that happened during Vietnam. And one of the things that I remember growing up in that time was this opposition to the war, this misunderstanding about what the veterans' position was, the inability for the veterans to get care and all this other stuff. And I'm just like, wow, that's not what I remember growing up about my dad and my family telling me about how things were in World War II. It's the opposite. So anyway, the thing that we need to remember is we put that uniform in the hanger and we put it in the closet, put it in a box, throw it away, burn it, do whatever we want to do. But we still have a responsibility. That responsibility is the people that came before us and those generations that will come after us. Because like it or not, we're in an all-volunteer army now. We're in an all-volunteer military. And if we do not take care of those people that came before us, during us, and after us, how can we expect to keep this nation free and prosperous and have people volunteer if there's no guarantee that those promises we're making them are going to be upheld? Now, a lot of questions have been asked over the years, why do we do that? Where do we find such young men, young people now? You know, and when you talk to us after the fact, it was because we were doing it for the guy next to us. Because at the end of the day, when it's going on, that's all there is the guy next to you. And it doesn't start that way. It starts out as an idea of patriotism or a way to get out of town or a way to get a college education or something to do. But at the end of the day, it was because we were taking care of ourselves and taking care of our people after us. And then we come home, and that duty does not go away. That oath of office, oath of enlistment does not go away. We still have a responsibility to take care of ourselves. And that's all the veterans in this room. We still have a responsibility to take care of those survivors of the ones that didn't come home, or those survivors that have to deal with the traumatic injuries, the spouses who have to deal with the traumatic injuries, those family members. It's a collective that everybody feels the pain, and we all have to take up a little bit of effort to take care of all of us. Now, myself, I'm reminded every day at some level of gratitude, thank you for your service. You know, okay, fine, I appreciate that. I have no idea if you understand what you just said, but I appreciate the sentiment. Thank yous aren't enough anymore. We're 15 years down the road from 9/11, and we have a whole bunch of people that are hurting at different levels of pain. Some are hurting really, really bad. I'll be honest with you. I don't have a job. I don't know if I'm going to have a house in 2 months. I got 2 college degrees, you know, and I worry and I stress every day about my future. But this isn't about me. This is about the guys who I keep reading on Facebook from their friends or keep hearing about in stories who are taking their own life because they don't have the answers. And it's not because the tools aren't there, but what exists is this disconnect. We can't connect this 2% of our population to the other 98% somehow. The other 98% have insulated themselves because it's only 2% of us in this all-volunteer military doing this business now. So my message to you is every person in this room can contact one friend who's not currently involved in doing some tangible effort. It doesn't necessarily have to be money. It can be something as simple as awareness. Reach out to those people who you think might have some kind of an issue or you think might need some help. Sometimes it's as simple as, hey, take a half day, I'll watch the kids, go off and have fun, do something you want to do. Find a way to de-stress them a little bit. And there's males and females alike. The male may be perfectly okay for the most part, but maybe his wife is really stressed out because she's carrying the burden. Help take care of her too. This is a collective effort. It's not just the guy in uniform, it's the person behind the person in uniform also that has to carry this load. So reach out to those people. Tell somebody who's not aware of what's going on. Reach out to that 98% of the population who's insulated themselves and all they have to worry about is what color dress somebody wore at the freaking Academy Awards or what the Kardashians are doing. I could give a rat's anatomy about the Kardashians. I care about my veterans who I keep reading in obituaries who took their lives needlessly. Young people who have a bright future ahead of them if somebody would just connect them to the services that are out there. Let's talk about the services that are out there. This is a service that's out there, but it's not enough. We need to make this service grow. These nonprofit organizations are a whole bunch of little pieces to a big problem. But we need to unite, we need to collectively put our efforts together, and we need to raise money, raise awareness, raise efforts, not just money, but efforts, tangible exercise, to help get these people the information and the services that they need. Offer them an opportunity. Find a way to reach out and give them some hope, because sometimes that's the difference. When a person has no hope, they start doing really stupid things. When a person has too much time on their hands, they start doing really stupid things. Give them something to do. Employ them in some positive way. Give them a sense of being. Give them a sense of I have something to do and I have a cause to do now. Those simple things mean so much to the guys who are hurting really bad right now. Okay, I'm running a little long. In conclusion, I was talking about the greatest generation, my dad being on the USS Indianapolis. Who here by a show of hands knows the story of the USS Indianapolis? Okay, a couple in the room. I'll be really brief in this description. A lot of people know about the USS Indianapolis because it's this real cool Discovery Channel called Shark Week. The USS Indianapolis was the greatest naval disaster at sea for the United States Navy, probably ever, but arguably, as far as sinking of a vessel goes. In this one fact, the ship was sank by a Japanese submarine, and it was on a secret mission, and it was by itself. And it didn't have the ability to call for help because the sinking happened so fast. So the surviving sailors of that disaster were in the water for 4 days and 3 nights. And the reason why it's on Shark Week is because allegedly a lot of these guys were taken by shark. Others died of heat injuries, dehydration, other environmental factors. There were a pack of survivors that came out of the ordeal that lived to tell the story. I knew that part of the story. I knew it very well. Let me tell you about the part I didn't know. In 1995, I was walking out the door to go to a party. I was on II staff training Marines at the time, and I was reaching on the TV to turn it off, and you still had to physically touch it to do that. And this Shark Week was on, and they were talking about when the human-guided torpedoes from the Japanese submarine had shot down the USS Indianapolis that was carrying the world's first nuclear weapon ever used in anger. Ladies and gentlemen, my dad sailed the USS Indianapolis from San Francisco Harbor to the island of Tinian in July of 1945. That's when I found out, watching that TV show on the fly, that my dad was 1 degree of separation away from Colonel Paul Tibbets, who dropped the bomb in Hiroshima, in the use of a nuclear weapon for the first time in mankind's history in a time of anger. How do you think I reacted? I lost it. I dropped to my knees. I cried like a baby. I wasn't in the mood to party after that. That was a very, very, very heavy burden to find out the way I did and how I did. That's my responsibility, to make sure that people like my father and those men and all of the people of all the generations of this country do not ever have to regret doing what they did when they come home because they feel like they're not being treated fairly or not getting the attention they need. And it's a shame that the government cannot do more. We won't get into political talk conversations tonight, but what we will talk about tonight is what we can do to make this organization better, to take care of our veterans, now, past, present, and future, because this is not going to go away. We're going to remain in a state of war for the rest of our lives. Final thoughts, because this is the Marine Corps birthday weekend and I am a former Marine. So I have this quote that I came up with that seems to have done really, really well. It's not in the notes here, so I'll try to remember it as best I can. But basically, as Marines, we don't mourn our fallen. What we do is we celebrate that such warriors ever lived among us and fought beside us and helped give freedom and went out in a blaze of glory so that others may live free and live to tell the greatest stories of heroism ever told. So it's roughly like that. So anyway, I'm concluding here. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it very much.
Another round of applause for Daniel, please. Before I bring up our next guest speaker, I want to touch base on something that you hit home on, our stress. Okay, those are demons that we carry with us. Okay, whether you see it or not, whether it's an amputation that's something physical, or whether it's PTSD, something that's not physical, that's more emotional, mental, traumatic, they're still demons. And like he said, we're bullet fighters. All right, you gotta be the toughest, roughest, meanest, baddest guy on earth. Stand up there, yeah, and girl. Stand out there, in that sense of knowing, that you might not come back home. That's not even a thought in our minds. When we step forward with honor, loyalty, integrity, justice, discipline. All right? We have our virtues that we follow. And it hurts, and it's sad. And I say this as a nation. It's sad when those virtues are not upheld for when we come home or when we're here struggling. And that's the dent that we need to make today. That's the dent that we need to make from this day forward. Okay, don't just look at this donation box here in the table or by the door or whenever it is that you come across Operation Silverstar. Make it a habit. Understand that this is a need. And like Daniel said, this isn't going to go away anytime soon. The generations before us paved the way. The generations in front of us hold the foundation. And that's a cycle that's got to keep on going. And without your support, we cannot hold the front lines. Your next guest speaker is Magic Mike, or Michael Magic Boyd. The singer. Pin. What? Got it. Boy, so amazing. He's a Grammy-nominated singer, songwriter who writes numerous styles of music. His message music has been changed lives in adults, children who have touched by it. Oh, I was like, what's this? It's okay. I got you. He's inspired many with singing songs, I Stand For You, to bring his message to universal humanity to everyone. People are calling it the universal anthem. Now his #1 hit single, American Soldier, Thank You for All the Things You Do, is playing in several hundred radio stations across the country. Mike is currently touring the country with his show, American Soldier, Thank You. Look for Mike's new CD, We're Gonna Have a Good Time Tonight, being released soon. Mike has also toured the country with his show, Trip Down Memory Lane, a tribute to Sam Cooke. He is solely responsible for the return of women's professional baseball and personally trained all the members of the teams. He created the philosophy called Base-All and new techniques teaching kids how to play the game of baseball properly called Step, Hip, Hands. Mike most recently created an exciting new 6-player baseball game called Standstill Baseball that is sweeping the country. He was the #1 high school pitcher in the South for 2 years, #3 in the nation. Mike received hundreds of scholarship offers throughout his time. He was a 2nd-round draft pick for the LA Dodgers and a 7th-round draft pick for the Oakland A's. I would like to present Michael Magic Boyd.
None of that was true. As my mom wrote all that stuff. Hold on 1 second, sweetheart. How's everybody doing tonight? Good. And now we're going to have us some fun in honor of our American Marines and veterans. He mentioned a song that I just written that's now playing on Armed Forces Radio Network in honor of the American Marines called To Be a Marine. I really hope you guys like this song tonight. If you don't, lie to me, tell me you do. Just make it feel good. But this is something I wrote for the Marines, and every copy of it sold, a donation goes to the American Marine veterans. And so before it's over, we intend that this song makes millions and millions of dollars for our Marines. And to you guys, we want to thank you with all our hearts, man. And so I hope you enjoy it because it's from mine. Are we ready? Everybody say we're ready. Can I get your hands right here? Everybody, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. Now listen to me tonight. Listen. When I was a little boy, my father would ask of me, said, son, when you grow up, hold you me. Son, one day I won't be here to help or hold your hand. So I want you to make a choice to be a better man. I said, to be a Marine is what I'd like to be a Marine. For the world to see, to be a Marine. Travel far and wide, represent my country and walk with pride. The Marines protect our country so we can all live free. I thank God for all of them, cause they really live for me. The Marines are blessed from sea to shining sea. We stand for you and me and fight for liberty. Y'all sing with me. It's what I'd like to be a Marine. For the world to see, to be a Marine. Travel far and wide, represent my country and walk with pride. Listen, no matter where it is and where you are tonight, we want to thank the Marines who are here to let us sleep safe at night. We want to thank you, Marines, for all that you do. We want you to know we love you, each and every one of you. Come on, y'all, be a Marine. Let me hear y'all say, it's what I'd like to be a Marine. For the world to see, to be a Marine. Travel far and wide, represent my country and walk with pride. I said, the Marines protect our country so we can all live free. We thank God for all of you, cause you really care for me. The Marines are the best friends you have ever seen, cause they take care of us while we dream. Be a Marine, come on y'all, it's fun like to be a Marine. All for the world to see, to be a Marine. Travel far and wide, represent be a Marine. It's what I'd like to be a Marine. For the world to see, to be a Marine. Travel far and wide, represent my country, and walk with pride, and walk with pride, and walk with pride. Well, in the name of Elvis, thank you very much. On this, I'm really glad you guys enjoyed it. I wanted to let you guys know I have copies of it here tonight. You guys would be the first ones outside of Pendleton, outside of 29 Palms to ever hear that song. And so I was honored to sing it for you guys tonight. Anybody remember someone by the name of Sam Cooke? Anybody remember Sam? Okay, hold on for a second. Somebody lying. Okay. Raise your hand if you haven't heard of Sam. I don't trust any of you. We're going to do a little thing, turn up a little bit. We're going to do a little thing called twist. Anybody know how to twist? That's Lucille. It should be number 3. All right. That's the white song. That's number 2. Thanks, man. It's okay. Machines do what they want. Turn it up. Let's get our hands right here. Let me get my face somewhere in New York way. When I put on so gay, twisting the night away. He's had a lot of fun. I put trouble on the run. You find the old and the young, twisting the night away. Yeah, twisting, can I hear you? Twisting, man. Everybody's feeling great. Oh, twisting, twisting, twisting the night away. Oh, here's another hit dancing with the old queen, who's got up in a diamond ring, twisting the night away. Man, you ought to see them go, all twisted with rock and roll. Oh man, you ought to see them blow, twisting the night away. Come on, girl, twisting, let me hear you, twisting, man. Everybody feeling great. Oh, twisting and twisting, twisting the night. Let's twist the rock. Hey, don't make me do it. Don't make me do it. Chicken. Right here. Oh, it's a better in the king. Dancing with the old queen, who's down in a diamond ring, twisting the night away. Man, you ought to see them go, all twisted with rock and roll. Oh man, you ought to see them go, twisting the night away. Sing with me, y'all. Twisting, everybody's feeling great. They're twisted and twisted, they are twisting the night away. Come on, y'all, I've been twisted man. Everybody feeling great. All twisted and twisted, they are twisting the night away. Oh, now you're way up here. Let me get my hair out my eyes. We're going to continue with a little thing. Here, how many husbands and wives you got? How many boyfriend lovers we have? Okay, I see. So then I'm going to sing this to half of us. Okay, you guys, ones that don't have anybody, don't listen. This is for the ones that do. Anybody remember a little thing called Wonderful World? I bet you do. I says, ready? The history. Don't know much about alchemy. Don't know much about science book. Don't know much about the French I took. But I do know that I love you. And I know that if you love me too, what a wonderful world this would be. Don't know much about geography. Don't know much trigonometry. Don't know much about algebra. Don't know what a slide rule is for. But I do know 1 and 1 is 2. And if this one could be with you, what a wonderful world this would be. Now I don't claim to be any student, but I'm trying to be. For maybe by being a student, baby, I can win your love for me. Don't know much about history. Don't know much about alchemy. Don't know much about science. Don't know much about the French I but I do know that I love you. And I know that if you love me too, what a wonderful world to be. Oh yeah. Oh la ta 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 ta. Oh la ta 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 ta. Yeah. But I do know that I love you. Let me hear you say, you know if you love me too, what a wonderful world it would be. What a wonderful world it would be. What a wonderful world. Oh yeah. It's real, it's real, it's real me. Oh. I hope we're enjoying ourselves tonight. I see you guys get to eat. Well, I get to work. Now that's the American way. That is the American way. And I'm going to talk to y'all. Yeah, wait, hold on. Okay, I got my control. Oh man, we're having, what was that? We're having a party. We are having a party. Here. Y'all that ain't eating in here, let's get on our feet if you're not eating in here. Let's have a little fun, shake our booty right here. Check this out. We're having a party, dancing to the music, played by DJ on the radio. Cokes are in the icebox, popcorn's on the table. Me